Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome once again. And we thank you for joining us this morning, as usual, on our road safety education and road use. This morning, we are joined again by the Assistant Corps Commander, Eliam G. Akem, the Unit Commander, Federal Road Safety Commission, Federal Road Safety Corps, RS7.19 Duse Alhaji Unit Command. You're highly welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking time to join us again.
Thank you.
Thank you. This morning, sir, as usual, we are still talking about road safety. We can't stop talking about road safety, use of road, attitudes of drivers, and how to use the road for our safety and for the government as well. So, and this morning we would like to begin by the popular questions from Nigerians begging for answers, always, as always, sir, which is, what are the common causes of road accidents on Nigerian highways? And this morning, sir, we'll be looking at, our focus will be on your jurisdiction as the unit commander of Duse Alhaji. So, Sokale roundabout, tipper garage records frequent crashes. What measures, sir, is road safety, Frsc, taking to address them?
Thank you very much for the wonderful question. Now, when you say, what are the causes of road traffic crashes? There are many, but for the purpose of this engagement, we'll streamline them to three. Basically, there are three causes of road traffic crashes. We have the human factor, that's the causative factor, yes, human factor. Now, when we say human factor, what it means is those actions and inactions of basically the driver. Of course, the driver is the human being. So, human activity that lead to road traffic crashes. I said actions and inactions. Then the next we look at is mechanical factor. But before I talk about mechanical factor, I'll list at least 2 or 3 of those human factors that will lead to road traffic crashes. Number 1, speeding. Dangerous overtaking, driving, then drunk driving. So we can add overload. So you see that they are all human elements caused by human beings. That's the driver. So it's only the driver that will speed, it's only the driver that will overload his vehicle, only the driver that will drink while driving and all that. So human factor. The second is mechanical factor. Now, when we talk about mechanical factor, what we mean basically are those things related to the vehicle. Those mechanical components has to do with the vehicle. So we say those things that have to do with the vehicle responsible for road traffic crash. Example, brake failure, poor maintenance of vehicle, faulty wiper, and all that. Provided it's related to the vehicle, it is termed mechanical factor. Then, of course, the third one is environmental factor. Environmental factor have to do with the environment. Every other thing outside those two listed, like the road, the way it is constructed, the environment, weather, fuzzy or hazy weather, harmattan, haze, and all that. So all those environmental elements that could impede the way you drive or to affect the way you drive. So, like I said, there are basically 3 causes of road traffic crashes. Then, in your intro, you brought the issue of tipper garage
in focus. And Sokale.
Now, you see that I'll take time to explain so that you understand that those 3 key factors are responsible for the crashes we record in that accident.
Very well.
Now, let's start with the environmental. The slope there is steep, the steep gradient slope of that road. The way the road was designed, already, we could say it had a structural defect, because the location, maybe that explains why the road was constructed in that manner, but it was poorly designed. So the steep slope, the steep gradient of that road makes it very difficult for vehicles coming when the road is congested for them to match automatic brakes. And you know, most of these heavy duty vehicles that we keep recording, most of them suffer brake failure, and as a result it leads to crashes, and most times these crashes turned out to be fatal. So you see now, we've talked about
human factor.
No, we started with environmental.
Yes.
That's the poor design of the road.
Design, yeah.
Then we moved to mechanical. We talked about brake failure, which is most times
Happens.
the causes we record. We discover that brake failure. Then we now talk of the human factor. Most of the drivers, knowing fully well that the road you are applying has defects in its design. When you are coming all the way from Shafa Bwari, you're not supposed to be speeding. You're supposed to be driving slowly, but they don't. So they come with speed. When they approach the Tipa Garage junction, if there is anything, any obstruction or so, in trying to stop, they start matching the brake, but if they are applying the brake, but most times the brake, you know, because of the nature of the vehicle or the type of vehicle, they don't get that traction immediately, and it leads to crashes. So you see now that human factor, and it could even lead to sometimes loss of control in the process. There is crash. So you see loss of control, the behavior of the driver, that's human factor, the poor design of the road, that is environmental. Then of course brake failure, mechanical. So you see, with all we've said, we still went back to itemizing the three basic causes of road traffic crashes. Same with Sokale. Now, Sokale is a very busy runabout. Very, very busy.
Very busy.
Especially during the peak period. Maybe peak period between the hours of 7 and 9 in the morning. Then in the evening between the hours of 5 and 6, we record high vehicular movement. Now, when there is easy passage at Tipa Garage, we discover that
It's
Sokale will
congested.
be
Yes,
congested.
I noticed that.
So that is it. The same way this other way. When the market here is free, Sokale becomes a choked. There will be gridlock. Now, what is the way forward? The population is expanding. So are people getting more vehicles. The design of that route is not supposed to have a roundabout there. If possible, they're supposed to have interchange, probably a flyover or something to accommodate, because now, if you notice, the Zuba Kaduna axis has been under construction for almost 5 months now. They are doing amazing work. So people don't want to follow that route. In trying to avoid traffic there, they are all using this other way, because this is a major exit. So we are recording high vehicular traffic here. That is why we are seeing lots of vehicles leaving Abuja to Kaduna. It's convenient for them to use this other way. But the initial design of this road did not accommodate
Very
that.
poor.
Very poor. So those are the challenges we find.
Thank you very much for this explanation. In fact, I must tell you that the education is a top notch. To be honest with you, I am proud of this, because there are things that I don't know before, and now I know, and I know very well that viewers at home, they have learned a 2 or 3 out of it, like I did too. Thank you, sir. And this brings me to the second question, which is kind of still related to the 3 factors you mentioned, which is the human factor, the mechanical factor, and the environmental factor. We have seen that, okay, let me even start with this. What role do you think drivers Number one, pedestrians and the general public play in ensuring road safety, and what is FRS doing to the trailers, I mean the drivers? You would agree with me that the drivers we have these days, some of them are underage.
Yeah.
Some of them are not. I was driving one day and one did to me like this, oh Banky. I'm like, let me even see who is talking. It was something very small like that. So, so what is the road safety doing to the trailer drivers, sir, in terms of responsible behavior, sir? Number one, the pedestrians, on the other hand, and the motorists.
Okay.
Putting into consideration, sir, this our tipper garage, because I want to tell you today that I live somewhere on that axis, Usman Dam to be precise. So we witness most of this. So this morning, what is road safety doing to the trailer drivers? And the pedestrians are now afraid, most especially me. I must tell you that I hardly drive now. I'm so afraid of driving because of why. People are afraid of, like you said, it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault, which is the environmental factor that is attributed to that poor design of Usman Dam because of the hill that is there. People are so afraid these days to come out. Me, I'm a living witness. And when I'm coming out, my chest is somewhere. So people are so afraid to obey the traffic lights. Nowadays, I am seeing it very well. And I know you guys are working. To be honest with you, I must give you the credit that your guys out there, they are working, they are trying very well, most especially the tipper garage. Now, back to my question, number 2A question, which is the motorists are so afraid now to obey the traffic lights because of the fear of being a victim of those ones coming from that Usman Dam bridge coming. And again, the timing you said, the evening time when you are going, for anyone climbing up not to descend using back, they are so afraid of doing that. So what they have resulted to doing is to beat the traffic, which is also the very dangerous. So what efforts, sir, is road safety doing, most especially within that tipper garage axis, to instill a proper behavior into those guys, sir?
Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, you said something about the role drivers should play, pedestrians should play, and the third category, everybody. Now, for the driver, you are supposed to obey traffic laws to start with. Traffic laws, obey traffic lights and all that. Then for you, the pedestrian, you are supposed to use the proper crossings. You're supposed to use pedestrians bridges, but it's quite unfortunate we don't even have any.
None.
Within this stretch. Now, you as a pedestrian, if you want to cross, you should do that where it is safe to do, especially at intersections like the tipper garage where you have the traffic light. Now, I'll come to the other question where you said road users generally are afraid. Drivers are afraid, pedestrians are afraid, and other categories of road users because of what has been happening.
Because of the brake failure.
Because of brake failure.
Which is the mechanical.
Now, the last time I was in your studio, I told you I was engaging and that we were going to step up our activities around that area. Now, you will agree with me that we have since done that. Now, what we do on a daily basis, we deploy massively to ensure that people obey the traffic light. In obeying traffic light, there is provision for pedestrians to cross. When we stop, because of our presence and people obey traffic light and it's helping us, then we've been able to shift the loading bay by that junction where people load pick and drop in the morning because of the rush hour, commercial drivers, private vehicle owners and all that, they want to stop at that place to pick people. So we've been able to move them from that axis down to after Ushafa, after Shafa filling station, Shafa filling station,
Yes.
for them to board, so that should there be any crash, the fatality should be very, very minimal. So for some weeks now we started that. Thank God it has been working and we plan to sustain. So what we'll do is, since some of the other remedies to be rendered are beyond our scope, though we have done the needful, like I told you, I communicated my sector commander, Corps Commander Felix Steman, on this particular problem, this challenge we're having, and we're able to identify some of the causes we are working towards that direction. So on the issue of the provision of pedestrian bridges, those are long-term solutions. But for the time being, these are the things we are doing. We have involved in robust public enlightenment and education on a daily basis. My public enlightenment team, they go there to educate. Then I've been meeting with the tipper drivers to talk to them, talk to the union leadership, so that they can talk to their drivers on how to conduct themselves, especially at the tipper garage area. So those are the little things we've been doing, and so far we've been receiving commendations, and by God's grace it's going to reduce, if not minimize, road traffic crashes, especially at that area.
Thank you very much, sir. I am also, like I said, I commend your efforts. I'm a road user of what is it called? I use tipper garage a lot. And I have seen, after your last visit, I saw a lot of changes. I saw the cordon, some places that time, like the place I said, if you give me the chance, I will start beating them to stop staying there. So I see that it's cordon for people not to, even though you still see some strong-headed people that will still stand after the cordon. So which is a good way of making the general public aware that you are so intentional about the crash that is bedeviling us in this area. And I know with consistency is going to be okay. And also I must commend you. This is a kind of feedback. We can't but keep talking about problems without saying, okay, this is done correctly. A kind of feedback from this our market. On Monday, like I said, on Monday, the market was free. Coming back from the office, I went and it was okay. I even saw that they clamped 2 vehicles. I was so impressed. I was so happy. And it can only be sustained if you consistently follow it intentionally. And you know, Nigerians are very stubborn in no way. And if we are consistent, it will be, I know it will reduce. With your gallant men too, which they are all trying as well. So, sir, we are still going back to the mechanical, the environmental and the human factor. And I'm happy also that you said now that your consistent meeting with the tipper garages, tipper drivers is yielding results. Truly, it is. To be honest with you, it is. But I would like to ask if there is any form or any intention to streamline the movement or timing of the movement for now.
Thank you very much. Like I said, some of the solutions to the challenges we have there are actually above our capacity at the moment. I have communicated my supervisor, the sector commander. We suggested that this tipper or heavy duty vehicle should be restricted, but that can only come from the FCTA. That's FCTA, that's FCT administration, as the case may be. So he has communicated the relevant authorities and he's still engaging. So as soon as that approval comes, I'm sure there will be restriction of movement of heavy duty vehicles, especially during peak periods. And when that is done, it's going to assist us.
We can't wait to see that because we are all waiting for like I said, questions begging for answers, and it's one of those things suggested by the general public. That is it that they cannot create a place that they will divert them to go and stay, and during the day or in the evening they go and go about their business, and that time will be sleeping in our own various houses. We'll be so happy, sir, if you continue with your sector commander
Yes.
to interfere or interface with the FCDA or FCT administration to come back to look at the environmental condition of the road. Maybe the flyover will be very happy with that, because every life matters a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having you this morning.
Thank you.
For hearing to our call. We sincerely thank you. We can't but be happy always, because I'm particularly happy every time, because I'm usually learning one or two things every time you are here like this. And so the general public at home, in your view, who do you think should be held accountable when there are bad roads? And to follow this conversation, we invite you to join us on our social media handles, NAPTI TV, Dampi TV, and radio, on social media handles like our YouTube, our TikTok, and Facebook, and even on YouTube. So we are waiting for you to get engaged with you. And to close this discussion this morning, I can't but advise us or talk to us about road safety use. I would like to start by telling us that life no get duplicates at all. Life does not have duplicates. So we should try and drive small, because the people you left at home, they are waiting to welcome you back. The road safety will have done their own. They are not there to give you life when you lose your life. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything you will have to talk to them at home?
Well, I'll just tell them to always drive to stay alive.
Very well.
Just like you said.
And just like I have said,
it's a shared
responsibility. You and I, the officers, are not God. They cannot hold your life for you. So stay alive, drive alive, and so you can be welcomed back home by your children and your loved ones. Thank you very much. Until we meet you again next time. Thank you.